Thank you, Karen. And great to have the opportunity to have toured. I know many of you joined us, so thank you, Bob, as well, for helping to lead that tour, and certainly to the whole Tri-County regional team for opening your doors for this exciting announcement today. Of course, I want to give thanks and recognition to Tom Hooper on behalf of the Commonwealth Corporation team. Certainly thank you for teaming up with us along the way to get us to this milestone, but all the great work that ComCorp does on this program and so many more. And certainly you'll hear also from my colleague, Bob LePage, representing Secretary Tutwiler, fierce partner in crime in all things CTI. So great to have Bob join us today as well. And certainly to our friends from the legislature, Rep. Roy, Rep. Hawkins. We know that also Senator Roush wishes she could be here, Rep. Scanlon, Soter, and I think representatives from Rep. Howard's office is also slated to be here today. So great representation. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. So we're thrilled. Clearly, representation across government is in this room, but we also know so many amazing stakeholders. I see Mass Hire represented, employers are here, and certainly many grantees that we're celebrating today. And we also have students. You will hear later in the program from a graduate to demonstrate exactly the kind of impact that we are celebrating today. But let me just frame things for a moment. For Massachusetts to maintain a world-class workforce, we also have to make sure that we're investing in a world-class workforce support system. And that's why Governor Healey, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, myself, Secretary Tutwiler, and our Workforce Skills Cabinet, and so many come together to make sure that we are tackling collectively our workforce challenges, working to eliminate barriers to employment, and increasing access to opportunities, especially for our untapped talent right here in Massachusetts. And to achieve this, we know that workforce development takes collaboration. It's the collaboration I already mentioned, the room that is represented today, the rooms that we have throughout the Commonwealth, and it's certainly representative of the grants that we're celebrating. We know that we need to lean in on this collaboration to build the talent that we have today and also the talent that we need for the future. It's how we will best attract, retain, and develop our diverse talent. It also means that we have to be intentional with the programs and resources like here at our example of our career and technical education schools to provide the meaningful career pathways for individuals who we're just talking with to connect them to great opportunities right here in this region and regions across the state. And then for employers who are looking so desperately for talent, they can then be connected to the skilled talent that we're investing in as well. And at the heart of this, we have to make sure that we keep people anchored and centered in our workforce agenda, which is really why we are here today, to announce an investment in our people, our workforce. And so I'm very excited to announce that the Healey-Driscoll Administration is awarding over $13.4 million in Career Technical Initiative grants to 20 organizations from the Cape to Western Mass to right here in Franklin, to over 1,600 job seekers for careers in high-demand occupations with the trades, construction, and manufacturing, all in partnership with more than 180 employers across Massachusetts. We also know that it takes some time to plan and get ready to this stage, so we're happy to also award a planning grant to an organization in the Berkshires who will be, I'm sure, following in the footsteps of the 20 organizations we're celebrating today. So how does all of this collaborative work actually come together? How does it work? How does it really reach fruition? The CTI grant program partners with career and technical education schools like here at Tri-County to provide adult learners with career training and technical skills to meet the needs of Massachusetts employers. And here's the impact. Each of the 20 awarded implementation grants are aiming to close the skills gap, increase access to well-paying jobs for unemployed and underemployed residents, often serving underserved populations and underrepresented groups. And together we'll be strengthening the productivity and the pipeline for our workforce, again, that our employers need. Governor Healey and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll often emphasize teamwork, and all the grantees celebrated today certainly reflect that team. It's not just the team that stands here or the team that represents the Workforce Skills Cabinet. It's the team that really comprises each of the grants that we're celebrating. And each of these grants include employers and anchor many of our regions, some of which we saw signage when we were in the HVAC facility. Here at Tri-County, as an example, our administration has awarded $880,000, which will help to prepare and hire 110 unemployed and underemployed individuals in HVAC, but also culinary, automotive tech, carpentry, and welding. And we appreciate the partnership with many of the employers. Tri-County can also help to open their doors, literally and figuratively, to provide that hands-on learning that you saw in the HVAC shop, and also the real-world experiences for our adult learners, just like they provide for their day students. Tri-County Regional also has seen success thanks to this kind of investment, and we will soon hear from Clark, who will share his firsthand experience after graduating in May from a CTI program here at Tri-County. I think that just demonstrates the why we're doing all that we're doing. Stories like Clark, stories like the students that we saw in the classroom, it really helps to remind us why these investments are so important. Before joining you for today's announcement, I had the chance to not only check out the HVAC classroom, but I was at a local training facility as well, also with HVAC as a focus. And it just reminded me another reason for our why. We're making these investments certainly with people in mind, but we're also being strategic, recognizing the projections that we see for in-demand occupations, the path that we have to fill for these in-demand occupations, and certainly front and center here in Massachusetts is clean energy. In fact, Massachusetts is a national leader in clean energy jobs, with over 70% of clean energy jobs focused on energy efficiency, demand management, and clean heating and cooling. And so when we are thinking about where we need to be come 2030, we know that investments in programs like the HVAC program here are helping to build the talent that we need, providing a more clear and accessible pathway for some adult learners to be part of those jobs that we need to fill today to support our clean and green future. And so we don't want to lose sight of that as well, because we are making sure that there's intentionality for the people, but intentionality also for where we know the jobs are going and where we know we need to provide more meaningful pathways, not just for that job, but for a career that will be lasting for that person, for our local communities, and certainly for our competitive Commonwealth as a whole. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for teaming up with us on the grants that you are a part of. And thank you for joining us to celebrate this milestone as we invest in our people and the future of our Commonwealth. Thank you.